Hi everyone, my name is Miss Cannon. I'll be your instructor this summer term. Um, Due to the COVID-19 virus, we are having to change things up a little bit. So of course I don't have an office, I won't be in an office, so I have a Google number. You see that here on our front page. You can call me at that number. You can also text me at that number. I'll check it. You have my email address here, and of course I can set up office hours for you by Zoom this summer if you need it. Over here on the far side, you see an inbox and you see a little 1 beside it. That's because I have an inbox message that I have not checked yet. Now yours may be set up a little differently because you're on the student side of Canvas. But this little part right here is really important because that's where most all of my communication to you is going to be. It'll say, hey, don't forget you have a quiz due today, or don't forget you have your final exams coming up. Or here's some helpful hints. Here's how you register for the software, that type of thing. So this little button over here, this inbox button, is really, really important. Okay, if you're already listening to this, of course you've heard the welcome message, and so you see the link for that here, and you can do start class here to actually get inside the class. When you do start class here, of course that puts you in the modules tab, so you can always access the class through the modules tab over here on the left side. The first module that you see is your orientation module, and that is put in there by the administration for the school. So if you need to look at any of the school policies, you're welcome to look there. That is not my information, but you're welcome to look at it for school purposes. My information begins right here. Now, I must admit to you, I'm a little behind. I only have a small window where I'm allowed to come to campus, and I couldn't get your class updated before my window, so some of this is a little outdated, but it will be updated by the time you're looking at the module. So what you're going to see here is your course outline. Of course, this is for summer 19, so it'll be updated. So you'll see course outline summer 20. That's going to tell you the point breakdown of the class. For example, in this class, your midterm exam is 30% of your score. Your final exam is 30% of your score. Your quizzes and weekly assignments are 30% of your score. And then your discussion boards are 10%. So 30, 30, 30, and 10 would make 100% of the class. And of course, your grading policy will be right here in the course outline section. Your syllabus is linked right here. That's your real numbers. LDM is the author of the textbook, the 3 authors, and so that's what LDM stands for. Now you're going to have weekly quizzes in the MyMathLab software. So some of this is going to change here. All of your weekly assignments will be in the MyMathLab. Okay. In this course, we will be using the MyMathLab software. To register for the software, you can click the My Lab and Mastering link on the left side of the screen. Okay, so let me do that really fast and show you. So see over here on the left side of the screen, underneath modules and grades, you see My Lab and Mastering. That's how you're going to initially register for the software. You can click right here where it says Open My Lab and Mastering, and that's going to take you to the registration process. Now, I need to forewarn you that the registration process does not work with the Safari browser. So any of you that are using a Mac or an iPad maybe, try to use something besides Safari for the registration purposes. I think once you get registered, Safari should work. But for registration only, try to use Google Chrome or Firefox or something like that. Now, if you have trouble registering, let me go back to where we were. Scroll down. If you have trouble registering, there are MyMathLab registrations here that will step you through the process. Now, textbook information. I do not require the textbook in this course. Okay? However, I do require the access code for the MyMathLab software. So you'll say, well, how do you get the access code? Well, there's several different ways. Okay, first of all, you can buy the textbook from the Northwest Bookstore, and it will come. The access code will come shrink wrapped inside that textbook. Okay, so you can get it there. If you don't want to get it there, or you don't want to buy the textbook, you can buy it straight from the MyMathLab company. If you click on My Lab and Mastering at the top, like we did, it's going to have a place where you can PayPal or enter a credit card. Okay, so you can do it that way. This is also the same access code that you'll use for the geometry and measurement class. So if you've already taken geometry and measurement, you might find that you've already paid for the access. Okay. For those of you that had to take an intermediate algebra or a beginning algebra course, it is the same access type process. So if you didn't use an access code in one of those classes, beginning algebra or intermediate, if you have an unused access code, you can also use it here. Now, I don't think it works for college algebra, unfortunately, but I think the beginning algebra and intermediate algebra codes usually work. If you have questions with the codes or problems with the codes, just inbox me over here. Just inbox me, and I'll be glad to help you with it. Okay, you're going to have a list of assignments and a printable calendar right here. And so of course this one's out of date since I haven't updated all the course information yet. But the good thing about this piece right here is it's going to tell you exactly what's due each week. So for those of you who are hesitant about an online course, or you've never been able to keep up with it like you hope, all you have to do is print that out and you'll be able to mark the weeks off one by one. Now keep in mind this one is out of date, but I want to just show you what it looks like. Well, let's try it a different way. Okay, so let's try it this way. Sorry about that. Okay, now again, keep in mind this is out of date, but it's going to be set up just like this. So week 1, it's going to tell you exactly which assignments are due week 1. So this particular semester, which like I said is out of date, this class had to do a getting started quiz, a discussion board 1, and a lesson 1 quiz all the first week of class. So as soon as they did those, they could say, okay, I'm done with those. Let's mark them out. And they can mark them all out and say, hey, I'm done with those. And so I encourage you, when the actual calendar is posted, of course it's not posted at the time of this video, but when the actual calendar is posted, print that out and start marking stuff off. It makes the class go a lot more smoothly. Okay, and I apologize that it wasn't updated at the time of the video. Okay, your midterm exam is going to be these are a little bit off as well, but it'll be that last week of June and then the last week of July as your final exam, and those will be updated as well. Now, where does your material actually begin? If you click on modules, you have lesson 1 lecture material. I think I'd rather do a different one. You'll have, so you see all of your lectures there. I'm going to click on this one. So for this particular one, it tells you, hey, you can, here are some of the things to look over. And you're sometimes, let's see if one of them, sometimes you'll also have videos in there. I'm trying to work on getting more of my videos in there posted for you. So it's just going to say, hey, here's the lesson you're doing. This is what you need to concentrate on from the textbook or from the ebook if you have the access code. And once you do that, you get to try the My Math Lab homework and try the quiz. And that's how it's going to look. Okay, so the main thing that I'm interested in right now for you is to make sure you know how to communicate with me. So you can communicate right here and, of course, with the inbox message. And also to make sure you know how to register for the My Lab and Mastering software, because that's where all of your material this semester is going to be housed inside there. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.